and it's very, tipped to one point of view. So as you know, from our last conversation, I've pushed back very hard on the Russophobia. And I came out publicly in 2019 and 2020, and I said very clearly, and I was, kind of, told not to say that, but I said very clearly that the Biden administration would try to start a war with Russia. And that is from my direct work experience back years ago, but also knowing the people that are still there and the neocons and the neolibs that are make money from the weapons manufacturers and want a convenient enemy. So my hope is that there will be peace and that there will be diplomacy and that we can somehow, but many US citizens feel helpless. And I think what you were trying to do with these dinners was trying to bridge that cultural gap, because American citizens, like, as you probably experienced, don't know much about Russia culture. They don't know much about Russia at all.
Well, I would say that many Russians don't know a lot about American culture too, which is very complex and very interesting from state to state. And what was my goal was basically is to create a bridge. So just average people who have similar problems and they have similar issues and know how to solve them, they can talk. So the best base for peace is having a conversation between people, not between politicians. We see that the political, wind could change, but when people are friends, when there are student exchanges, and by the way, today working for the State Duma, it's the lower chamber of Russian parliament, I asked my colleagues to give me the issue of foreign students. I do today help to foreign students to study in Russia. Why do I do it? Just because this is the best base for peace. Look, one day I watched the interviews that are going on online, and I know some people sometimes feel that their Maria, they knew, the Americans, she changed. I have not changed. I still believe in peace. And I do what I can to create this civil diplomacy, because if I give up, it means they win, and I'm not gonna. In this situation, it's not gonna be my defeat. I will fight and I will build bridges with the nations, with the countries that want this peace. But also, not all Americans hate Russians. I still have hope that there are people who actually realize what's going on. I just several days ago, and I know you will, you saw this letter that I wrote to some, like long time ago. She was a symbol for the Soviet Union, Angela Davis, and she's now, she now works in California. I was following her interviews, and because of one issue, it has nothing to do with politics, okay? It's about civil things. So she has been fighting for the female rights in American prisons. And as a person who spent 1.5 years in 6 different American prisons and jails, I could tell you that something wrong is going on and nobody is allowed to see the truth. So I wrote this letter to Angela Davis. I put it online and I sent to her. Well, I expect and I hope she's gonna give me some response, because it's a sincere letter. I just took a piece of paper and just wrote it.
Reeve, could you put up the letter? Because we have it. I went ahead and pulled it, the link. Reeve, could you put the letter up so the viewers can see where they can see it on RT? Because you can still get RT on Rumble and you can still, great. So there it is. I'm not going to read it right now, but could we get the headline? There we go. So Russian MP Maria Butina, Angela Davis, please bring hope to these times of darkness. And
right. So my basic point is two things. Please look at the conditions in American prisons and how they treat females when they even don't give pads to women. Like the walls are covered with blood. Like, this is not normal. This is not a civilized society. This is one thing. And the second, please, the most important point, you have 1 month until the midterms. And please make your politicians to talk about it. What led these women to be in jails and prisons? Why are they locked up for years and years? These are incredible terms that they give them in prison. People plead their cases. They're going to plead to anything because they know there is no justice. And please pay attention how they ended up in jails. Look, I opened the news today. I read American media, as I mentioned, and I see that it's going to be a release for certain drug charges. So Biden just said that we're going to release these people. I look at this and I see that, like, how dare? Look, he's only talking about federal charges, the minor federal charges. What does it mean? How about it's just 6,000 people maximum? And today the United States has the most prison population in the world. So it's non-modern populism here. He just wants to look good. This is first thing. The second thing, as a person who actually lived in the United States for 5 years and studied at your school, I know what it means. It means they're gonna give an amnesty, like they will allow to vote to former prisoners. So they support Democrats on the elections coming. Okay, it has nothing to do with issues about ideology, because I have very mixed feelings about this. So we will talk about it, how being in prison completely changed my views, and how from being like a libertarian, I became a person who actually believes in socialism and believes that people and the government must help to those that cannot help themselves. Okay, the prison changed me. But this is a different issue. So they give this, media coverage that they're gonna release many people from prisons for minimum charges for drugs. Okay, it ended up to be very few people. Then they give them the right to vote, so they actually can vote Democrats. How about the state charges? The majority of drug cases, I served time with these people. They are actually state charges. They're there for years and years. And by the way, usually they don't give them just, like a minor violation. They don't. They give them just for being drug addict and being somewhere around drugs. They can give them 35 years. And this is not just what I say. It was a woman with me who actually, she was an accountant, right? But she is drug dependent. So how about treating her? And they gave you 35 years. Like this, you see her here and there. It's everywhere in the prisons. So if he wants to talk about some important issues for American families, like I won't touch your issue about abortion. I don't have a precise knowledge about it. But what I know precisely is the Blacks that have their families broken because of poverty, because of their kids, they can't have a chance to go to a normal school to learn how to read. I have seen many females, many women who don't even know how to read. And this is why, and it's all in my book, and that's why they don't want to publish it in the US, because they don't want to see the truth. They just close their eyes. They play their games in, giving more money to their, I won't even mention Ukraine, just to foreign campaigns. How about average Americans? How about Black ghettos? These women, you know why it's so touching for me? These women saved my life. And they were the most generous, the most kind people I ever met. And it was in prison. And only in prison, you can see a person as who he or she is in real life, like in real soul. You see the soul, you pray together. These are good people. And they don't pay attention. They say, the BLM is real, absolutely real. But they made it political. Right. And now it's all,
got infiltrated.
Yeah. And now, it became just a political game. Just don't let it happen. Because then the whole America, the hope that you are trying to perform yourself as, it's just gone, long time gone.